There is only one that matters, and no one else or anything else outside of him matters, and that is Jesus Christ of Nazareth also, period. Amazing how the Lord functions, amazing how the Lord thinks, amazing how the Lord does things as far as salvation and redemption are concerned. Our church fathers in today's gospel, they have chosen two parts from the gospel according to Saint Matthew. One part is extremely short, made out of 2 verses of chapter 7, and the end of chapter 7 being verse 28 and 29. And then chapter 8, verses 1 to 13 inclusive. Chapter 7, incredible how the church fathers chose 2 verses out of 7, because those 2 verses say, and after Jesus had ended all these sayings, people were astonished at the way Jesus spoke. They said, this man spoke with authority, not like the scribes or the Pharisees. After Jesus finished all his sayings, people were astonished at the way he spoke. They said, this man spoke with authority. It's like one having authority, unlike our scribes that we've been listening to them all our life. This man, we just listened to him now, he blew our mind away. We've been listening to our hierarchies all of our life. They were so boring, we fell asleep. But this man spoke, things started changing from within. And what are these sayings the Lord Jesus had just finished saying? It was chapter 5 and 6 and 7 of Matthew. And what are chapter 5, 6 and 7 talking about? Jesus Christ is coming into this world as the King. Because chapter 5 is where the Lord Jesus, seeing the multitude approaching him, he went up on this mountain and sat down and opened his mouth saying, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So what is this mountain? The Mount of Beatitude. The blessings the Lord Jesus gave in chapter 5. The church fathers call chapter 5, 6 and 7 the royal speech. It is the first time ever the Lord Jesus is beginning his ministry with that royal speech. You know, when election time comes, and in Australia it's just around the corner. G'day, mate. So when the election time comes, all those candidates, they go out campaigning for it, appearing here and there and everywhere, and promising things which most of the time they don't deliver except Donald Trump. So they speak a lot and they promise a lot. And they say, if you vote for me, I will do this and I will do that and I will do that for you. The Lord Jesus came in chapter 5 to say, it's my first time addressing the public, and I'm saying to everyone who is listening to me, I am the King. I came to rule over your life, over your heart. And then chapter 8 says, and after the Lord had came down from the mountain, 2 people approached the Lord Jesus. One, an Israelite, the other one, Roman pagan. The Israelite, the Jewish man, happened to be a leper. He came and worshiped the Lord, bowed down in worship and says, Lord, have mercy on me. If it is within your approval, please, I wish to be healed. The Lord Jesus stretches his hand, his arm, and touches the leper and says, I wish for you to be cleansed. And he was healed on the spot. And the Lord said to him, do not tell anyone, but rather go to the priest and show yourself to the priest. Why? Because at the time of the Lord Jesus, who would qualify a leper to be a true leper? The priest. You see, the laity, the people of the time, if they had heard there is a leper in the town or approaching them, they would run away as far and as fast as possible, because to their rules and to their laws, if you even say hello to a leper, let alone touching him, you are defiled. This is their belief. If you say hello to a leper or even touch the leper, you are defiled. So when a leper used to walk in the city or the town, he would yell out and say, leper, I'm a leper, I'm a leper, as a warning for people not to come and even say hello to that person. In other words, a leper was destroyed mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, you name it, because he was rejected by his own people. So this leper approached the Lord and said, please, I've been suffering for too long. I am lonely. I am unwanted. I am rejected. I am degraded. I am put down. Please heal me, Lord. The Lord touches him. The law says, you touch a leper, you're defiled. He touches him and he says, I wish for you to be healed. He was healed on the spot. He goes to the priest to show himself. Why? Because it was the priest who checked him out to determine whether he is a qualified leper or not. And what is the qualification to be declared as a leper? From head to toe, the entire body must be as white as the snow. If there is one little tiny spot of redness in the skin, meaning there is still a living tissue there, is not a qualified leper. He had to be white from head to toe. So the only one who was entitled to check the leper was the priest. And this is why the Lord said, go show yourself to the priest. Why? Because since nobody saw your body, because you covered it from head to toe, the only one who saw your body was the priest. Then the priest will be the only one who will believe that you were once a leper and now you are totally healed. How did this happen? The priest will realize only God can do such a miracle. So who is Jesus? God. God revealed in the flesh. But what is ironic? Leprosy, my beloved, in the biblical terminology represents sin. In the biblical sense, it represents sin. But there are two kinds of sins. One sin comes externally, the other one comes internally. There is a sin that enters a person from outside, but there is another sin that comes out of the person from inside to outside. And the sin that comes from inside to outside is a much more grievous and dangerous sin than the external one. Saint Peter wrote 2 epistles, Peter 1 and 2. In Peter 1, he begins his epistle with these words, Peter as apostle of Jesus Christ. Peter 1, Peter as apostle of Jesus Christ. Epistle number 2, he says, Simon Peter, a bond servant and an apostle of Jesus Christ.